Do not miss Mordhau. Oh my god. What?
I am just a simple lootsman. Get space.
Catching him clean.
Oh, my boy knows how to use an axe.
Oh, let's do the Viking.
But you didn't even block. You're a madman. I now have a sword. Haha, a new playstyle. You might have sussed it out from those clips, but this is the spiritual successor to Chivalry, a game that brought medieval combat to a new level for Rage and myself. A lot of fun. Inspired by Chivalry, the creators of Mordhau have taken on the charge of bringing a Chivalry-esque game into 2019, with much better visuals and combat techniques while maintaining that old and wonderful core. The very center of Mordhau is medieval combat. Sword on sword, hammer on sword, you running from the archer who won't leave you alone, you know, the classic. You're able to take full control of the way you want to fight, so you've got horizontal swings from any direction, overheads and rising swings, long range thrusts, and now, as it says on the tin, the Mordhau grip. This will affect each weapon differently, but as you'll note, the longsword variant has you hold the blade to use the crossguard as a blunt weapon, and doing so, allowing you to do better damage against fully armored enemies. So someone who's got strong protection against your sharp blade, you can go ahead and just pull out the Mordhau grip and smack them with a crossguard. Or in the case of your greatsword, take a half-hand grip, extend the range of your big hammer by holding it at the end, or just throw your damn dagger at the guy at this point. From just that, there's a lot of variation, but it goes deeper. You can feint your attacks by cancelling them out, drawing out the block from your enemy to send in your follow-up attack while that person's guard is down, or morph your swings into a thrust, timing it so your poke goes right past the guard of the enemy, or even chamber incoming attacks by matching attacks with your own, either bouncing off each other or sending yours right over theirs. Not to mention, if you're good at positioning, you can sidestep, spear thrusts, and smash down your own hammer on someone in the same motion. With these mechanics, you have a lot of different ways to approach combat, and the mind games during a duel are really fun. You can pick from 9 classes with different armor and weapons to go with their playstyles, each coming with their own set of perks which passively help you in and out of combat. Or do one better, create your own class, something we never had in Chivalry. Hundreds of items from the selections of armor and weapons, you can go completely mad creating your perfect warrior. So playing the game grants experience and gold. The higher level you are, the more variety of armor and weapons you have available to you, as long as you've got the gold to unlock them. From there, you can create your naked hammer warrior or your heavily armored archer at your leisure, but you're limited by the point system, so you could equip up to 3 weapons at once with multiple passive perks that enhance your character and choose between no armor, light armor, medium armor, and of course heavy armor, of which there are many different visuals for. Heavy armor, of course, protecting more while also consuming more of your limited 16 points you have to spend. So, you know, if you're going to kick yourself out with lots of heavy armor and maybe a big weapon, you're not going to have any points left over for the best perks or secondary weapons. You're going to need to pick and choose based on that. However, the majority of the clothing that you can customize is purely cosmetic and doesn't consume any of these points. That's only for weapons and armor that actually have statistical impact. Then you can go further and mess around with the colors, the emblems, and even change the visuals of your weapons too. The community itself is already doing work. We've got cool cosplays or just cool looking characters from the system we currently got, and I know it's just going to get mad, and I'm excited to make my own Dark Souls guy. So it's a great combat system, pretty nuts customization, but what do you actually do with that? We've got classic game modes, but some genius ones too. As you'd expect, you've got Frontline, a massive scale battle contesting objectives with up to 64 players in one map, which gets hilariously messy with a few intense duel moments in between. Or the Team Deathmatch modes, with smaller maps to have your 5v5 or 10v10 brawls, or just everyone for themselves in a deathmatch. Then there's also the alternative Skirmish mode, which is just like Team Deathmatch, but there are no respawns, and it's the first to 7 round wins setup. I personally love to practice the combat in the duel servers, where you're able to take on 1v1s back to back to help hone your understanding of the combat. Classic game modes, like you'd expect from Chivalry. But then it gets a bit crazy. Thanks to the in-depth weapons and armor systems we've looked at before, you're able to do a lot with that as a dev. That's right, we've already got a goddamn Battle Royale mode, which is something I never thought I'd see in a combat simulator such as this. So you can spawn on a big map with a bunch of other players, and while you're naked, you desperately look for chests and weapons to get yourself equipped with armor and take on the incoming battles, i.e. last man standing wins. It's very silly and quite cool that it's actually possible to play right now. But then you've got the real deal, the Horde mode. I've already logged way too many hours in this with a bunch of friends. Currently, you've got a choice of 4 maps to play this mode on, in which you survive increasingly difficult waves of enemies together. You start out with just your fists, and only a few enemies will come to try and claim your life. As you defeat more enemies, you gain points, and each wave you survive, you gain even more points. These points are spent on weapons and armor that, of course, are better the more expensive they are.
Oh my god, yes.
So light armor is cheap, but provides way less protection than the expensive heavy armor. And those items are littered around the map. The better the weapon, the further away from spawn, and of course with that, safety that it is. It's actually a huge risk to go collect the best gear, so you'll need to time it in the small sections of safety between rounds to go running far for that heavy helmet or Zweihander and run very quickly back to safety before you're overwhelmed by the new waves of enemies spawning around the map.
Wait, I jumped off my roof of safety to come save you.
Where are the bandages?
They are inside our spawn.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
There's also some in the crypts.
Head to
I got
the
him.
spawn.
Alright. There's a small matter of the 19
Right,
other
I'm on
men.
30 health. What you got?
37.
Get
7.
the one on the right.
Brothers, I need aid.
Okay, mine's dead.
Yeah, I kinda needed aid, brothers.
Oh,
The bill hook guy.
fucking range. The bill hook is just
Outrageous.
bill hook.
The bill hook.
Just doing circles.
The difference between the guys Aaron's fighting and the guys Josh is
Yeah, Aaron just,
It's like level 1. And
yeah, Aaron just kicked the shield out of one guy's hand and chopped off another guy's head in the same motion. And Josh is
Alright, it's a lot
running
to
in,
say from the people that are dead, alright?
Josh is running in circles.
The enemies are going to get smarter as you go. The deeper the wave, the more dodging and blocking your attacks are going to occur, getting armored up themselves and becoming more varied and talented fighters. You've even got some Robin Hood fellas coming in before long. Really got to watch out for the ones shooting arrows or bolts from their respective bows, or the throwing knife guys. They can really catch you out when there's a lot of them and you're in an open area with little cover. We've faced bosses at wave 10, such as a really heavy armored guy who just would not go down and was just laughing at us. And there's firebomb throwers and even giants at wave 20, so good luck with that. You can bet though, you've got more customization in the BR and Horde mode, since you start with nothing in these, and there's a variety of gear to find. You need to choose how your Horde mode character is going to look as he gets geared up. And I think I've seen, personally I've been one, Geralt of Rivia about 10 times online already. Finally, there's horses. Yep, horse combat is in the game, and it's ridiculous. If you blast by someone and send out a well-timed swing, you'll just crush them instantly, or you could even spear them with a lance attack. It's surprisingly smooth, and crazy to look at when there's a bunch of horses running around in one place. Given the potential the game is already showing, I think there could be an insane Steam Workshop scene, not only for the different game modes and cosmetics people might make, but even more combat additions. I can just feel the amount of fun I'm going to have with this game. I've already played way too much in too small of a time frame, and I'm just going to go play more after this. So if you didn't know about it, don't miss out on Mordhau. It really is something special. Thanks for watching and listening. What do you think of the game? Be sure to catch me live streaming it. My link to my Twitch is in the description. I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, come on.
Come on! 229 kills, 1 death.
Come the fuck on, man. You had one.
Sorry guys, sorry.